Alright, you guys, today we have a simple task at hand. So Timmy of the Minerva Patron survival server has been going on Discord about a very interesting problem he has. He's gone ahead, built a, wow, did two accounts just un-AFK at the same, they both just left. Okay. He built up the, a spruce tree farm here, and, has not been able to get it to work. So I decided to come on here and make a video trying to solve it myself, because he said he's not going to play Minecraft for a week, I believe he said, and I figure, well, you know, I have experience fixing tree farms once or twice, maybe I'll take a swing at this. And, first and foremost is to align a schematic. I already happen to have a schematic from the farm that we built on Minerva. If you guys want to build your own schematic or you're working with the same design, you just take a schematic from the design that you're using. In this case, it's Omango's 100 and something thousand spruce tree farm, and it's built to be lag friendly. And I need to come on here and figure out exactly what's not working. He assures us that he's tested every single repeater. I assume he's tested every single comparator. One of the immediate tricky things that he's actually done is gone ahead and built a lot of concrete in here. This might be screwing up some of the pistons some places. I'm not actually entirely sure. I'm also going to have to go through and set all of this wiring back because I can't get my schematic to go away, but it does look... Here we go. It does look like none of this is in the right spot, and this farm, typically you can reset itself by just growing a tree, but I think I'll just move a lot of this back and see how it runs. So I'm not going to be doing a step-by-step in this video, but I will be showing you little progressive steps that I'm taking. First and foremost, I'm just going to align the schematic. I'm going to look for errors, manually reset some of the stuff, and most of that's going to be off camera because it's uninteresting, and it'll take a little while for me to do this. And yeah, I hope you guys learned from this experience, and of course, if you want to join this community, this will be my one plug this video. You guys can check out the Patreon link in the description below. All the information's down there, but this is a closed community as of now, and they got some pretty cool projects going on in that direction at the witch farm. But today's focus is fixing this tree farm. So I went ahead and cleaned up the interior a little bit. I got some of these pistons back into place, pushed all of these back, and I made a nice little spiral staircase for myself out of the wood that I need to remove anyway. You don't need to remove it, but it's good to get all of this out of the way. But I'm not any kind of expert or anything, and I don't like to claim that I know more than I do, but I'd have to imagine a missing repeater could could cause a drain in the system. I'm not going to call it too early, but I think we all know what we're thinking when I say that he did mention that the thing worked completely fine, but it always broke after 3 or 4 trees. And I would have to imagine a signal getting lost on this side would explain why this isn't getting pushed out, and why it would break over time. So I'm gonna replace that repeater and then give it a quick test. Pro tip, because I don't think I'm gonna show this on camera. Whenever, I've said this before in my past tree farm fixing videos, whenever you are testing a tree farm, place a dot or place like a fake wood piece like that. Do not grow a full tree, because if it doesn't work, all you're going to do is clog up your already broken system, and it's just you're going to have to clean up everything again. So just fake it out so that the piston movements are the only thing that are happening. And in this case, as you can see, having built this on Minerva, I know that these blocks right here should not even be here. So if we grew a full tree, it'd actually push these blocks out further and break the system even more. As you can see, that's already occurred here, where because it wasn't pushing the logs, the trees got pushed into here, and some of this redstone dust got pushed out of place. So I definitely need to fix that before we get back to it. But I think we should replace the repeater and see if we got a fix here. Right before I've replaced this repeater, I've gone up here to find that some water is missing as well. It wouldn't surprise me if, some redstone is missing as well. It wouldn't surprise me if he spilled some water and that's what actually broke some of this. But it would appear as though this piston wasn't even getting triggered, which would mean that none of these pistons were getting triggered. So that dust needs to be there. I have updated the repeater. So let's just turn it on. Replace this repeater here, which for whatever reason is on 2 ticks in the schematic, but it never actually turns off, so it doesn't matter. Anyway. Okay. That seems good. Let's hop over here, and oh, no, it blew something up. That's cool. Alright, some of that is moving. Looks like the pistons here cleared themselves out. Looks like my wiring over here is just fine. Cool. It pushed the logs that were down here out of the way. I'm going to turn down that block sounds because I know it bugs some of you guys. And it looks like everything else is fine. Okay. I might actually fix this up with some TNT because it looks like he hasn't stocked us too much here. And grow some logs and see if this works. Okay, so if what I think is true, then this video is about to be a lot shorter than I thought it would be. I got the replay mod running here, so you guys can see these trees growing. As far as I can tell, this thing is working. Somebody once asked me in a stream, I think, why I stand in the middle here, even though I take damage. Honestly, I just like to watch the trees grow. It's easier for me to just stand here. Okay, so this is something that actually happened on Minerva. When I was testing this a lot, some logs would get stuck there. I think I was able to fix it with some comparator settings or something, but what I was finding was this bottom block wasn't pushing past the dispenser, and what that ended up being was an extra block in here blocking this. So I think I might just remove these extra logs here, double check that everything's moving properly through here. Maybe I'll just trigger a fake tree. Maybe I'll return these pistons to their normal setting, and I honestly think we should be good from there. This is, like I said, something I've had to handle before. It really does get fixed when you just go through the system, clean out all the junk, because you guys saw that I had my weird scaffolding and everything. This is made to work with perfectly symmetric 2 by 2 by however many high trees. I think this goes up to 24. And what we were setting through here was not that. So if I just clean out all this junk and reset everything back to normal, I don't think I'll have to change anything else, and we should be set to go. As I've been cleaning this out, there have been a couple of things to note here. So I've actually just been slowly but surely replacing all these pistons back to their home in glory. Still haven't done the redstone up there, but I have found exactly one repeater that has been on the wrong delay. And over here, there's actually a couple pieces of dust missing. Not really, or wherever it went, over here. These 3 pieces were all missing, and I'm not exactly sure how I would have seen that before. But that could have something to do with why these pistons were, well, you know, not working. So, yeah, let me just go through, fix those, and this should be good for a trial run at least. I think I figured out the problem. Pretty sure this piston is supposed to be facing up, you know, or else the monostable won't work and it'll just wreck its own wiring. A couple of things to note. It is worth noting that a lot of the patrons on here don't have op, so none of the patrons thus far have received an operator rank, so switching between game mode 3 and game mode 0 is sort of impossible for a lot of them. Although each patron is allowed an alternate account or a second account to log in and be in spectator mode. So you might have seen the idle host who logged out earlier. That was actually, I believe that's Timmy's second account. Actually, I can check right now off camera. Timmy does not have a second account. Idle host is Doctorius' second account. So they do have access to a second account if they would wish, and then that can be whitelisted and then it'll be stuck in game mode 3. So they can get to those hard to reach places like inspecting all the repeaters and whatnot. To do that in survival mode is, to say it's not thorough is saying the least. So one thing I'm actually going to be testing while and the other thing is that this is something I was considering as I was talking. Was I said that this was built for 2 by 2 by however high trees, and that might, I mean, that's obviously true, but those weird structures should have still gone through the system just fine, and I think the repeater that I forgot to fix over here and the piston over here being in the wrong position could be why this thing was screwing up in the first place. However, one thing I will be trying out anyway is between every real tree, I'll just trigger it once more with a quote-quote fake tree and just place a redstone dust. That way it'll trigger the tree harvesting animation and then clean out whatever pistons. Like right here, I'm going to have to trigger a fake tree just to get this out of the way, or else that'll get pushed out a couple blocks. And I mean, that doesn't look like it'll damage anything, but it'll be out of the way. So, yeah, I'm going to finally get back to testing here, and let me just do 1, 2, 3. Alright, that should make a significant difference. In fact, we should be able to test this live on camera. So spectator mode is just so convenient when doing this. Alright, that's good. Let's go a real tree and see what happened here. You guys can probably see this in replay mode, but I have to check this out in survival or live on camera, or first person, whatever. And it looks like everything happened just fine. Okay, so I'm gonna continue to grow some trees and show you guys the results. Okay, so I've grown quite a few trees now. I did fix a few things like the repeaters and whatnot. I'm sure between here I showed some kind of replay footage. I'm still not sure as of recording this what I'm going to do with that. If I'm just going to do a lazy time lapse of everything happening, or if I'll try to get more intricate details. I'll really just have to explore more at the mod first. But it looks like it's fixed. There were a couple pistons out of place down there as well, and it seems like everything is fine. As you can see, I've cleared out most of the blue concrete. It's kind of fun. I don't know. It's a good feeling just sort of purging all the concrete from this thing. It's like as every tree I grow eventually is just going to be pure wood, and then all the concrete of the build is done, and then you'll know it's finished. But I haven't actually bothered to collect any of the wood. Sorry, patrons. Yeah, I know. I'm going to let something like 40 stacks of spruce just sit here and despawn, but you know, maybe you should have set up a better collection. I don't know. That's no excuse. But this thing will pump out so much, I'm sure they won't really care. Once Timist, or not Timist, sorry, he's a Minerva member, Timmy comes on here and can fix this, or if any of the patrons want to take this thing on, or if you want to become a patron with the link in the description below. Although if you do that, then you'll have to wait until December unless you donate $5, in which case you can play out the rest of November. But regardless, this tree farm is fixed. So yeah, I'm not going to bother with this wood up here. Call it the Mr. Beast touch of fixingness. I don't know. This thing is completely finished, and I'm sure that Timmy will be happy to hear, because as I said on Discord, he was kind of pulling his hair out about this. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little impromptu, unplanned tree farm fixing video. If you guys have never seen my channel before and you somehow made it this far, then you'll not know, but in the past I fixed quite a few tree farms. I don't know if I'll link them in the description below. I probably will link a couple of them. Definitely the Dark Oak farm has given us quite a lot of trouble on Minerva, and I've spent a couple live streams, not really proper videos, fixing our own spruce tree farm. So if you're interested in that, feel free to subscribe or check out my channel for more videos. That's it from me, guys, and thanks for watching.